On this episode of the $1 Million Mortgage Experience, Jon Maddux, CEO of FundLoans, sits down with sales expert Andreal Climon. In the past 12 years, Andreal has mastered the art of conversation and is known for his record-breaking sales as well as his infectious laugh. Andreal shares with us some of his cold calling secrets, how to be pleasantly persistent, why you should do some research about your potential client, and much more. Oh, and did I mention that we had Andreal perform a live cold call? Stay tuned.
Welcome to the $1 Million Mortgage Experience podcast. Listen in as CEO Jon Maddux of FundLoans reveals tips, secrets, and origination ideas to fill your pipeline with $1 million opportunities.
All right, welcome to the podcast. I'm here with Andreal Climon. How you doing today, bud?
Very good, man. Nice to be here. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Well, I hear that you know how to sell. So our viewers, they sell. They sell money. They sell loans. We do that here. So we wanted to chat with you a little bit about that. Kind of, you got some skills. Maybe we can share with the guys, and girls. So,
Sure.
So how did you get your start in the sales?
I pretty much got started probably 15 years ago. Randomly.
Were you selling when you were coming out of the womb and preschool, selling your friends stuff? And
I think that sales is an internal thing and it's a drive thing. So I played sports my whole life, football, baseball, basketball. I was typically pretty good my whole life.
Team sports,
potentially could have went in the NFL. Most of my friends play football. But when I moved to Los Angeles out of high school into college, I went to Palomar College for a little while. I moved up to LA from there, and then something happened with my family and I was forced to come back home to take care of my family. So when I did that, I was looking for jobs and it said, we will train you to be an internet consultant. Okay. I'm like, what's an internet consultant? I need a job. So I took this job, and that really was the beginning of my sales career. And that was at Z57 at the time, which I still work at today.
Wow. So you've been there a while. Yeah,
about 12 years consistently working for them.
So did you find that you were kind of natural at sales? Was it more of just a personality thing, or was it did you right out the gate, were you hitting numbers? Just something you took time to learn, yeah?
It was terrible.
You were terrible out the gate.
I was terrible.
That's actually better because, people out there, all different levels, right? There's your incredible salespeople that are naturals, and then you've got the people that have to actually try and learn and get techniques, and that's probably why they're watching the podcast or listening. Right?
Yeah. I think I've always been good with people and being able to connect with people. Mm-hmm. I've always been good with just drop me in the room, I'll make new friends. So I was always good at that. But translating that over to a business call over the phone is a completely different process. Right. There's different things that go into place when you're trying to ask someone for their money, or you're trying to help them shape their business so that they can make more money as well. So I feel that I didn't start out because I didn't know anything about real estate, Right. That wasn't my forte. My forte was sports and entertainment. And then transferring that energy of holding a mic and singing on stage, that's selling, but it's not, hey, let's set this appointment up and I'm going to do a demo for you. For me, and I think it's still consistent today, is that you learn things, right? You get good at it, and then the industry changes. Right. You learn things, you get good at it, and then the conversation of the industry changes. So I feel like I've definitely been a chameleon as we've grown into the real estate space, where I've had to sell different subjects in order to engage people to talk to me. And I think that that's probably one of the hardest things to do in our business, because when we started selling internet marketing to realtors, there was no one doing it. It was a new thing. It was like, hey, I'm going to call you and I'm going to write on a piece of paper, I'm going to draw what your website's going to look like, and I'm going to fax it to you, and that's pretty much what you're going to buy. We're going to build that for you. That's how far back I went back on selling internet marketing, and that's what we used to do. Now, it's like everyone and their mother is selling real estate marketing to realtors, so it's very competitive. The technology is really, really, really good, from $20 a month to $50 to $300 a month. I mean, there's some really good providers out there that are giving good technology. So you have to be adverse on what other competitors are doing in order to even keep up. And
so give us a quick just download on what your guys' company does. So what do you guys sell, leads, or do you guys?
We do it all. Our company is web-based platform. We build professional websites. We do search engine marketing. We do Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. We post to people's Facebook pages and to engage their clientele. We do drip marketing, email campaigns. We coach realtors on how to be more successful, and we're pretty good at it. As a whole, our organization owns multiple different companies. I work for one of the largest brands in the country. It's called Constellation Software, and the division I'm in is in the Z57 division. So we're very adverse. We own multiple companies out there, Market Leader, Torchex, Red. There's just so many different companies that we're acquiring. We just recently acquired a SmartZip. We just bought Offers. So in our world of space, in our constellation of stars, there's a lot of technology that we own and dominate when it comes to that space.
Nice. So you must have a lot of data that you guys have to look through and kind of figure out what's working, what's not working, how to refine certain things, always improving your process, yeah?
I definitely don't have to do that part of the job.
Right.
But I'm constantly refining what's my next conversation going to be like. Who am I going to approach? What market am I going to call? Where is it hot? That type of thing.
So talk to me about, because cold calling is a lost art form. I mean, there's people that are great at it. There's people that are terrible at it. There's people that are like, I would never do it because it's like singing, live on a stage. I don't want to get turned down. I don't want people to laugh at me. I don't want people to hang up on me. There's two things I know, and one is that people do not like to even talk on the phone anymore. They like to text. So like you call someone, they're like, text me, what's up? Are you in a hospital? Like, you know what I mean? Like, so people don't even like to talk on the phone. So I want to get to that. That I think is important, because if that still works, which I'm assuming it does, cold calling, and you're talking about business to consumer, right? Like you're talking about, because that's a tough, when you're being paid to sit there and be on the phone and people are calling you, or you're paid to work, right? You can talk on the phone a lot longer than when you're on your free time doing whatever it is that you like to do and you're not at work. Cold calling is a tough thing. So I want to hear kind of have you been able to refine your pitch? Like, what's important about cold calling these days?
Well, I think what's really important about cold calling these days is, what are you saying in the first 30 seconds of that call? Like, what are you trying to articulate so that they will listen to you and receive the information? I find a lot of salespeople, younger sales reps, I would say, they're very scripted, they're very unanalytical, and they're not conversationalists. They say things that just really say, hey, I'm a salesperson just trying to sell you something.
Right.
As where my approach is, I just talk to you like we've known each other for 20 years, and I get a good response from that. So my approach typically is, how can I get this person's wall down and be honest with them and upfront and let them know that I'm reaching out to them about business, but I'm really not here to disturb your day. Right. So that's typically what I do. I'm more like, hey, this is Andreal Climon. I'm a stranger. You don't know me, and I don't know you. So relax. Don't try to waste your brain cells, because we don't know each other. You got a minute?
It's cool.
And they're always very grateful for that. They laugh, they chuckle.
Right.
Yeah,
okay, I don't know you. Okay, cool. What's up?
It's like, okay, great. I can relax now. This isn't someone calling me pretending like they know me, and I have to be on good behavior right now because I'm driving to my next appointment, and I don't know if I do know you or not. Like, maybe we did talk. What is this about? I take that anxiety and stress out of the cold call. And that's why
it's probably harder to say I gotta go right now too. Like, if you do that, because it's like, oh, you just were totally honest with me. You just completely did something nice for me, so I should probably do something nice for you now.
Sure.
Listen for 5 seconds.
And that's it.
10
and
seconds.
The minute turns into 20.
Yeah.
Or an hour.
Because if someone says, you say you got a minute, is that what you're?
Yeah. I mean, I'm just, hey.
Anyone could spare a minute usually.
And if they can't, they're probably lying.
Right. Yeah.
I love actually, I'm busy right now doing something. Great. You're writing up a contract, but you're taking my phone call. Sure. Okay. I'm going to let that one pass, but I'll call you back another time. And one of the things I find, too, with my process is that there's a lost art in phone etiquette.
Right.
There's a lost art in being kind to the people that you're trying to earn their business.
I love that you said kind, not nice. That's a difference.
Being kind, like respecting people's time. A lot of times I find that when I look at the real estate industry and I look at their lives, and there's mothers raising kids and fathers like taking care of families. They're busy people.
They are.
So if someone were to try to call me and sell something to me at my job, and there was a line that you could get to Andreal Climon, you would never get me, because I'm always on the phone. I'm never not on the phone. And I feel that common courtesy of just saying, hey, you got a minute to talk? Oh, you're busy, you're driving to store. No big deal. That's exactly why I called. I didn't know what you're up to. But if you don't mind, I'd love to call you back, in an hour, reintroduce myself to you, and then we can maybe talk about what I have to offer. Would that be okay with you, Jim? And they're just like, yeah, sure, Andrew, give me a call. Different approach, Doesn't have to be for everyone, maybe not work for everyone, but I find a way to be kind, personable, and pleasantly persistent.
So you talk about being kind, and one of the things I know that, we're all human. We have human nature. We all like things that are about us. Everyone kind of has some self-centered interests, right? Like, what's in it for me? Most people want to know if you're going to add value, right? So, like, is there a secret weapon when it comes to cold calling? Is there, I've always heard you got to add value. You got to make it about them. You got to listen, right? You got to be a good listener. Give us some tips on stuff like that. Like, is there anything that's like a secret weapon?
I don't really say it's a secret weapon. It's just when you're digging for gold, right? You don't just stop when you get tired. Yeah. The shovel's got to keep hitting the ground in order to get to the gold, right? Right. So in my world, it's usually the questions that you ask. Where are these questions going? Where are you leading them in a conversation? I think it was last year I created a question where I would say to people like, hey, Jim, like, what's your PIP? And they would be like, what's that?
A PIP.
Yeah, and it's just a word that I made up.
Like progress improvement or something? Or?
It was just projected income profits. Okay. So I'd be like, what's your PIP? And they'd be like, what do you mean? You guys, they're used to CGI, right? Yeah. But I made a PIP because I just wanted to throw them off with a word they didn't know so I could come in as an expert, right? Right. And it's true. So I would ask, between now and the end of the year, what's your projected income profits? Like, where are you at right now? And they'd be like, oh, wait, hold on, let me get my book. Those were the realtors that really understood their business. And then they would tell you, well, I'm projected to make $220,000. And I said, okay, great. Well, how much money do you need to spend to get to the rest of that number? Oh, well, it's going to cost me probably $7,000 a month. That's a person that I can now have an intelligent conversation with about SEO, about traffic, about building traffic for different markets versus the person that had no clue on that, right? So you have to be on your tippy toes and ask questions that are going to lead you down to the answer that you either want to get or that's going to open their mind up to where, you know what, you're right, I do have a pain. I feel that complimenting the realtors but also breaking them down at the same time is the balance where I live. I start with compliments. I remind them that this is broken and we need to fix that. And then I'm always suggesting as a solution, I don't need your money, don't want it. It's useless because you're not going to buy anything unless you really like me and like the service. Right. So I come with that approach, and it's very healthy because whenever they book a time with me, they don't feel ever that they're going to get pressured or bullied into buying anything. Because I prove my value and I back my company, and we make sure that they're going to get what they're looking for too.
Yeah, that's good. And a lot of realtors get hit up by mortgage brokers
20 times a day.
Yeah. Hey, do you have any lead? Do you have a person that's you're sending your loans to? Or I'm sure there's a million different questions that they ask. But I mean, do you get? Do you ever talk to realtors about that? Like, do they have mortgage brokers that they a lot of that's relationship driven, right? Yeah. Like I know our kids are on the same football team or whatever it might be, that causes that connection. But what kind of advice would you give to a mortgage broker that's trying to get some more realtors in this? Should they ask them for business or should they try to add value, offer them something?
I was thinking about that, because I have a lot of clients that have realtors that they rely on their lenders for their financing, for their marketing. So my advice to mortgage people is they should really work on developing relationships with the realtors and be present in their active environment. Whatever that realtor's lifestyle is, you should be participating in some of those things. If that realtor has a kid, that is at the baseball practice, like mine on a Saturday, when I go to practice or when I go to the game, I'm staring at the fence back there, and there goes Betty Lowe, Realtor, sitting on the fence back there, right?
Yep.
But how much more powerful if the mortgage lender came to that Realtor's kids game or that birthday party every now and then and just dropped a couple nuggets on, the benefits of buying now versus later. I think that mortgage people need to be more active versus just paying for marketing. They need to participate in being at these events. And there's a lot of mortgage lenders that do a good job of that, but there's just so many ways to connect with people. And I feel like even that is a lost art, How often out of a year are they throwing a nice planned event on a quarterly basis to get in front of that realtor's sphere of influence?
That's good.
Yeah. That's something that if I was a mortgage lender, I would be throwing a hot dog hamburger party every 30 days.
Right.
And I want to see you, bring a new friend and let your friend enter the drawing and they could win $200.
Right.
Who wouldn't do that? I bet you everyone would bring somebody new.
Yeah.
Everyone would be excited. Everyone would be thrilled to split that $200 at the end of that party. I mean, that's just a simple thought, but
I think you throw that out there, and that's one idea of so many possibilities, right?
Yeah.
I think it's part of it's like we forget to be creative and use creative intelligence about what can we do that's out of the box or different from the next guy, right? Like you've got to be able to differentiate yourself from the other 500 mortgage people that are out there trying to get to the realtors and right and I think it takes a little bit of that creative intelligence and what's interesting now with YouTube and different things that are out there is all this stuff is available for free. We're giving away secrets. We're telling people on how they can improve their sales skills, how they can improve their networks and things like that. But I mean, this is just one channel. There's so many people out there making money on you. I mean, we're not making money on YouTube, but there's people out there that they do this and they give away things for free, and they've got millions of views, and it's just sales techniques, right? I mean, it's and I think understanding things like what you're saying is what's valuable to people, or what's something that's going to resonate with someone else that's going to cause them to want to work with you, right? I mean, there's always your match. You should want to be friends with the people that you're working with if you can.
Yeah, you should definitely participate. And you bring up a great point about YouTube. I mean, it's absolutely endless with the ClickFunnels and the ads. It's I don't know who to believe anymore. The fitness guys are driving me crazy.
I've seen a lot of them too.
I mean, really? I could just not breathe for 10 minutes a day and I could lose weight?
There's always some new thing, right?
There's some, I mean, it's crazy. The fitness gurus and the sales guys. And I'm is everyone really this rich from YouTube where they got planes and boats and cars? And I mean, this is some good staging, guys.
Right. I know I heard something, I think it was Gary Vee. It was talking about some guy jumping a fence at an airport to get in front of a private jet and do selfies and stuff like that. I mean, the things that people will do for what is like Dave always says, perception is reality, right? It's whoa, Johnny's got a jet, he's doing great. I only have a Mercedes or something, I don't have a jet. But there's the fake it till you make it, but then there's the genuine authenticity and being able to really be someone that actually knows their stuff and then is genuine and actually is adding value to someone, and not, we were talking about earlier, I think offline, it was about being around the 5 people, your sum total, right? You're if you're around people that are dragging you down, because they're doing drugs or they're doing, they're just bad people, you're going to end up kind of like that if you're hanging around with, maybe realtors that are successful and that are, if you can get in that network, then you're able to, add value to them from a side of the business that they don't know, which is finance, right? All they care about, I remember working with super high end, very, very, very talented realtor, and they give you one chance. If you mess it up, you're gone. And so you got to really be able to have a good strategy, and you can't just go in it blindly. I mean, there's a part of being a cold caller where you got to take risks and you got to just put yourself out there. But like when it comes to relationships, I think you have to really work at, those long-term relationships. But let's talk more about cold calling, because I know that's what you do a lot of. How can a mortgage broker stand out when approaching a realtor on the phone? Because really all you have is your voice. So what if,
So you're talking about a mortgage broker calling the actual realtor.
Calling a realtor.
I mean, I'll go back to the basics, right? Like, have you met anyone on the planet that doesn't like compliments?
Well, depends on what time of day it is. If it's the early morning, go away, Dad.
In general practice.
You're right. Everyone likes compliments.
Yeah.
And that leads me to, back to like when I started learning the art of selling. And I mean, there's books out there like that. Like I think one of the first books I ever got is a book called How to Get Anyone to Do Anything. And a lot of it was about compliments and stuff like that. I mean, and that a lot of, what that is? A lot of that is charm, right?
Yeah. It's finesse, right? Like,
it's finesse.
We're calling a stranger. You're interrupting my day. So something that mortgage lenders could do, they have access to who's top producers, who's doing what. I mean, you could go on a Zillow account and look up someone's home sales and see what they're doing. You could easily go to their social media presence and look them up and just talk. Hey, I gave you a call because I really like the way you communicate with your audience through social media. And I'm a mortgage lender over here at so-and-so company. Just wanted to introduce myself. I'm always looking to partner with realtors and potentially invest in their marketing and do things like that. So do you have a minute to talk? I'd love to converse with you about what makes you so successful. I'm always looking to partner with realtors like yourself. You got a minute?
That's great. Yeah, that's great. And everyone can remember, like, what do they say? People can remember not what you said, but how you made them feel.
Absolutely.
And so, like, oftentimes, I meet people, new people every month, every week, and I can always tell if they never ask me a question. Like, you kind of have an impression. If someone like never asks you a question about themselves, right? Like just ask you, they just talk about themselves the whole time, and you're just like, you ask the questions like, hey, so do you have kids? And they're like, yeah, man, I've got kids. And this is my kid doing this and that and that. And then they never ask you back, do you have kids?
Right.
It's like a common like exchange that some people don't do. And I don't know why, right? But I think you will remember that about a person, but they'll remember you and they'll like you because you paid attention to them and you complimented them, right?
There's just so many people that overlook the obvious, right? Yeah. And a lot of times when I say that, it's the obvious is that anyone that's using social media, anyone that's on the internet, they're there because they're trying to expose themselves.
They're putting it out there,
You're putting it out there, right? You're exposing yourself because you want people to find you.
Right.
If that was the case, then no one would set up a website, no one would do social media, no one would have a cell phone. I mean, I'll throw a rock over here with a note on it and meet me at the office. Hopefully I'll see you at the park in 2 weeks with your dog, and maybe we'll get together and I'll show you how. You know what I'm saying? But that's not the case. Like, the whole point of social media is to be social. And that's the obvious thing. It's like, even as a mortgage broker, you have to be social. You can sit back in here and sit behind the office and calculate numbers and run deals and just stay in the office. You're still going to have to socialize and pick up the phone, or you're still going to have a team of people that are going out bringing the business back to you. So again, I feel that we have to be articulate, we have to be kind, and we have to be pleasantly persistent. I feel like even follow-up in our day and age is a lost concept. Yeah. People just think that
it slips through the cracks all the time. Yeah.
You're just going to call. They're just going to whip out their wallet, and it's just a deal today. No.
No, it's something called farming.
It doesn't work like that.
You don't plant a seed and then all of a sudden you have a crop in the next day.
No, the watermelon's going to take time to grow, right?
Right.
But it's going to be delicious if you work it.
Yep.
It'll be wonderful. It'll be great fruit, and you can even take those seeds inside of it and replant them to grow more watermelons throughout the city.
Right.
And I think that people just don't do that anymore. I feel like even yes sir and no sir, like when I'm on the phone, I'm always as etiquette, because my family's from the South, but I was born here in San Diego, so I kind of grew up when my parents split at 9. I got the Southern Cali vibe, so people never know if I'm black, if I'm white. They have no idea what I am when I'm on the phone.
Right.
And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but like they just never know what nationality I am. So they always think I'm white, which is weird because I don't think I act that way at all, and I don't talk like that. But I'm always projecting professionalism as much as possible when I'm on the phone. Now, once I get to know you and I'm under the hood and I'm over here in the spark plugs, then listen, we're going to talk like I'm talking to you at the bar. And that is particularly my gift, is that I can break people's walls down real effectively. Right. So it works for me, man.
That sounds like a definitely a secret weapon. Break down that wall, right?
Breaking down the wall is what I would tell any person in the cold call land.
And if you want to be liked, you have to be likable.
You have to be.
You can't just be a dick or a-hole or something and just be like, and people like you. I mean, there's some psychology behind like when you're mean to someone and they're kind of like, why was he mean to me? And then they think about, there's some weird psychology about that, but that's not the way you cold call, right?
Yeah.
You gotta be likable. You gotta put it out there, and if you want people to like you and to share and maybe refer you deals or something, you gotta be able to be likable. You gave us some different openings, some like pitch openings already.
Sure.
Do you have any others? Like, so there's probably several that probably work really well depending on, who you're calling. Do you change it up when you're? I mean, I know you talk to realtors, but is there?
I typically focus on real estate agents, but another thing that I've learned about cold calling is that people like it when you research them.
Yeah.
Like they love when you've done some homework on them.
It kind of gives you a little like warm fuzzy.
Yeah, totally. So if I'm, if I'm a mortgage lender, I mean, I'm calling you like, hey, John, this is Andreal Climon, and I was actually doing some work for another client online, and I came across your profile, man. Hey, congratulations on being successful. 17 years of doing this. Are you tired? Are you done? I mean, I saw your Circle of Champions award and saw that you did like, $20 million last year, but I mean, just dramatically impressive. Do you have a minute to talk? I'm very curious. I'm a fan.
That's cool. Yeah. You just disarmed them.
No one's talking like that.
No.
No one's being that kind and respectful. And I actually do look people up. Like, I'm like, you know what, Jim? I saw you online. You used to be an accountant for years, but the gun hunting? Are you still doing this? You still shooting ducks out here, man?
Right?
They do that.
Yeah, they do. I mean, and what's funny is they put it all online.
It's
so
like,
unless you're being super lazy, you can see it all, and you can see exactly what they're into. Because people like to, let's not say brag, but they like to like put it, like you just said, they put it out there. They're exposing themselves because they want to be liked. Right? Yeah. They want those likes on Facebook, or they want those hearts on Instagram, or whatever it is, right? They want those followers, those comments, and everyone's guilty of it.
Yeah.
Right? We all are.
I don't know if it's even guilt, John. It's just, look. Who doesn't like to be seen? It's like, it's a classic story of the beautiful woman that goes into the restaurant or to the environment of a bunch of men, or the gorgeous hunt guy goes into an environment where there's all these women, and they kind of shyly and snugly pretend like they don't want to be seen. But really, you're waiting for that compliment on, hey, great smile. Mm-hmm. You're waiting on that compliment.
Oh my
gosh,
cool shirt. Or
love your shirt.
Love your shoes. Yeah.
Wonderful hair. Like, you spent 20 minutes in the mirror getting ready for this.
Yeah.
Think about that. But then you get there, and then people are mad because Jimmy Blue is looking at your yellow dress. Or Jimmy's mad because Sally is staring at your beautiful sculptured chin for 20 minutes,
Yeah.
It's just really interesting. And what I find with humans in general, because I like to call people humans, trying to evolve my thought process. Like, we're all humans in this planet, forget your color, your race, and all that. But we all, in some shape or form, want to connect with each other.
Right.
It's just, what frequency are you putting through the phone that makes me go like, I receive this frequency.
Yeah.
I mean, most of the time with my phone calls, people are always telling me, Andreal, like, I never spend this much time with people. I'm so happy you called me today. I'm so grateful you called me today. Thank you so much for helping me.
Well, it's like you're like a breath of fresh air, right? Like, I get cold calls as well, and so I usually don't answer on my cell, at least.
I'm going to cold call you next week.
We'll see if I answer. But I'll answer this phone, and there'll be cold calls, and I'm just like, don't want to answer. I don't want to talk to this person. They're trying to sell me something, you know. But if you called me and you did that, which we're probably gonna do a little role play, I'm sure, in a minute, but because you got this down, I probably would talk to you.
Yeah.
So I want to share that with our listeners and with our, with our viewers, because I mean, I think we all can become better conversationalists, right? We can be better at how we portray our words and how we open the openers, right? Like, there's all kinds of. There's a lot of people out there that are trying to show people how to pitch dates, or how to get a date, and like how to talk to a girl, right? What's the open liner? What, how do you? And then like I've seen those ads that you're talking about that come up, and there's one that's just like, "Hi, I'm Scott," and like you're like, "Oh wow, that works." To just talk to somebody, and it's just because it's genuine, right? It's just like, "Hi, this is Andreal," and then you open up. So I don't know if you already gave us all your openers, but is there any other openers that you could share before we get into like maybe a cold call scenario?
I was thinking about one that I feel is really good.
We're getting all your secrets.
It's really, my friend. I got a good friend, and he's probably one of the kindest souls ever. He's just a brilliant guy. His name's Alex Bro. He's a really good friend of mine. And Jack Markham, who's one of my mentors that has really grown me up in corporate America and has helped me shape my path in my career, my organization. I'm forever grateful for him for what he's done for me and what he continues to do within our organization. But one of the things that, Alex would always say to me is, but like, Andreal, like, it doesn't matter who's listening or who's watching you. I know you want your space and you want to be comfortable and you don't want people looking over your shoulder, but he's like, dude, you're a legend. People want to know how you do this stuff. And even if they did find out how you did it, they still can't be you. So just keep doing you and make everyone around you better. And ever since he's told me that, it's really resonated with me. So I think just, you already know, compliment. Lead with a comment. That's always going to get you further. Doing the research on them, that's always going to get you a conversation. And sometimes you can come from a land or a space of niche marketing. You
also disarmed them.
Yeah.
By saying, "I don't know you."
I don't know you. I created that. That's my phrase. You don't know me. I don't know you. I'm a stranger. Is
that short? Like
it's that short.
Yeah.
I don't say anything more, anything less, and that gets me in because they just respect that so much. But another thing you can do after that, I feel is very important, is start talking to people about their area, like
some of their interests, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you're an expert, or you're trying to be an expert, you probably should know what's happening in my neighborhood. If people are relocating in from different parts of the country and the rates are low and there's so many people buying, know your stats on the people that you're calling. Like if a mortgage lender is calling a realtor, you should know the competition in that area. Yeah. You should be able to drop a couple names of other realtors that are super successful that have potentially used you before or using you now. And that will immediately give you some recognition and some respect. So just knowing the market, cold calling into the market, talking about what's happening, home sales, who's moving there, who's relocating, and then asking, do you have a minute? That's another thing that works too. It's just being the expert, talking about what they're living and breathing. Hey, I know you're in South Carolina, greatest city. Everyone's traveling all over the country to move there. A little humid for me. But I don't know. The price is right. I might buy something out there. I mean, I'm sure you'll sell me a house, right, John?
Yeah. There you go.
There we go again. Yeah. The wall's down. Absolutely.
Of course I'll sell you a house. What's your price range?
Bingo.
Well, I don't think they talk like that, but they might.
Sure,
depending
John.
on where they're from. No offense. I used to live in the South a little bit too, so I live in the South. West. But yeah, I mean, I think that's a huge thing. And I just think of like people that I've met recently, and we always talk and like we ask, oh, do you know so-and-so?
Yeah.
So if you actually maybe do a little research about someone and then maybe you know someone that they know, maybe through LinkedIn, You know, I mean, so many people are connected on LinkedIn, so it's like, oh, no, I don't know who
That's a whole nother
Chris
ballgame,
Jones is, right? You know?
That LinkedIn, that's a whole nother universe.
It is.
On like, you can really, that's a great place for mortgage brokers to prospect.
Oh, yeah.
Like I would live there if I was this job. I would be living in that space.
LinkedIn, yeah, because you see everybody's information and you can, yeah, it's like they put it all out there. Especially if they're active on LinkedIn, right? If they're posting, they're commenting. You're right. That's a great place to be. So, so are you up for doing a quick live cold call
For 500, absolutely. I didn't know I was going to get paid on the show, but why not? Sure.
Johnny, give us some money. But yeah, I mean, if you're up for it, I mean, right?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's just see what we can do. Like, I mean, this is my daily life. This is what I do every day. So it doesn't really bother me to connect with a human. My question is, if they want to do a deal, can I use your computer for a presentation?
We may not have all the time for that, but you could set up a call back, right?
We can definitely do that.
Maybe you can get a call back.
All right,
that's the challenge.
Let me find out who am I calling here. Okay, Erica.
This is a true cold
She looks nice.
Wait, how'd you find out? You have like a CRM?
Yeah, I can't give you all my secrets.
Well, CRMs are important. Right?
It's the biggest obvious public secret.
Right. You don't have to spend the money for Salesforce because that's crazy. But
200, I'll give you that secret.
Yeah. Is there a cheaper one than Salesforce? Those guys are expensive, but
let's see what happens. Oh, she picks up. How many rings do you guys let it go?
We do the Jeopardy.
How important are voicemails? Do you do any voicemails?
I really, unless I've talked to you before, I don't really leave you a voicemail. Unless there's something really interesting that I see.
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah,
just call. Is she nice? We're gonna have to get her. We're gonna have to get her to like sign something, maybe. Like,
okay.
I mean, let's just see it. Let's try it. He's obviously good, so he might be able to sell her.
Is your mom a realtor?
Yeah, out in Tucson, Arizona.
She's my new client.
Yeah, you want me to.
We're calling Ilana right now, or Elena. Sometimes I mess up people's names on purpose.
It's Elena.
Olá, você ligou para Eliana da Vegas Brasil. No momento não podemos atender.
I don't speak Spanish.
Do you want to do it?
Yeah, I mean,
Let's call your mom.
Right.
This is great. I feel like we're pranking someone.
Bring the phone over here. Let's call her. What's her name?
No, because she'll know it's me.
Yeah.
Oh, got
just
it.
do the number. We'll walk it out.
520.
Okay. 1520. Does she have a Facebook business page?
I think she's on Facebook. She has her own. She's with Long Realty, so I think that they do a lot.
Okay, so can you pull up her page so I can educate her on her page? What's her name?
Nancy.
Nancy. And she's in Tucson? Humor's good too. I forgot to tell you about that.
Humor. That's a secret weapon too.
Hello?
Nancy?
Yes.
Nancy, it is Andreal Climon, and I am an absolute stranger, so don't rack your brain trying to figure it out. I don't know you. You don't know me. A complete stranger here. Are you able to talk for a brief moment?
I have about a minute.
Oh, beautiful. That's all I need. Okay, wonderful. Look, I was online and I was doing some research for another realtor in Tucson, and I actually came across your name. So I wanted to find out, are you still doing real estate? Or are you doing it as a hobby, or are you doing it as a career?
I'm doing it full time.
Okay, you're doing it full time. Okay, wonderful. I know that you said I had a minute, so I don't want to be disrespectful, but I do marketing for realtors. I help you guys with web, social, and more. And my quick question was, do you have any personal interest in improving your web presence for the future? Because I know it's like really, really, really hot market out there. You guys are doing very well. And I just wanted to see if I could get some time with you another day and let you interview me. You're the boss. I'm just applying for the job, and just interview me and see what I have to offer. But I really feel like there's an asset in me helping you.
First of all, I like your style. Nice, because I haven't hung up on you yet, so awesome. Second of all, I have a really good friend who is doing the same thing, who is trying to get me to do the same thing, and so I've just started working with her. We've just started a business Facebook page, doing a few things, and so honestly, I'll work with. I know I need some help, and so I'll be working with her, though.
This is heartbreaking. I'm actually crying right now. I'm Nancy. You know, unfortunately, I was taught a long time ago that I got to get at least 20 no's. We're only on no 1 right now.
Okay.
Listen. Look. Here's the deal. I'm a good team player, right? I used to play football for years. I grew up here in San Diego. Most of my friends played professional football. My good friend Leroy Glover is actually getting introduced into the Hall of Fame. You probably know a lot of my friends. You know Marcia Falk?
No, I don't.
Okay, you're not a football buff. Okay, fine, whatever. Bottom line is, I'm all about teamwork. If you have someone that is going to participate in helping you grow your life and your business, first of all, congratulations, because realtors work so hard. And I know that you guys put a lot of time and energy into just learning new tools and new technology. So cheers to you for even taking a leap of faith, paying her to do that. How much are you paying her? Just is this like $1,500 a month? Is this $2,000? How much you got to pay to make her do all this stuff for you?
Well, in addition to her, I also have a coach. So I am well ingrained in the I need help.
Okay, so. Rewind. How much are you paying this coach? Because I know what coaches charge. I travel quite a bit around the country. The last coach I met was charging $6,000.
My coach isn't quite that expensive, but you know what? My time is truly up. I have a client walking in.
Okay.
And I've got to go, but I like your style. I think you're going to do fine. And here's your no. I'm sorry. Okay,
that's only 2. We got like 18 more to go. We'll try this another day. I still got 18 more opportunities.
What to you? Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. And that was your mom?
That's my mom.
We're gonna have to get her to sign off.
She doesn't know me, guys. His mom doesn't know me. Well, I think what did she learn from that? Let me ask you guys some questions. Remember, you said asking questions.
She stayed on because she enjoyed it.
Okay.
She was enjoying that.
She said it multiple times. She's like, I like your style. Like,
yeah.
And I already hang up on you.
Right. I hear that every day.
So if you're gonna cold call, you got to be likable.
Yeah.
You gotta have someone's gotta like your style. So do you have like anything online where people can learn from you? Do you have your own YouTube channel? Do you have a place where
I don't, but I'm actually here with my new video crew, and that is my friend Jon. This is
Jon, do not talk to him when he leaves.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have my new production team that will be helping me put these videos online, and we will teach you how to cold call.
All right, this is over. No, this has been really good and educational. I do think it would be cool if you did put out more information, and because people would, want to learn your style, and right.
Well, I mean, this is very inspiring to me. I mean, I came here because a friend requested me to show up, and the team are doing great by just reaching out to people. You know, and I think that I'm very grateful for this opportunity. I think that everything that we discussed today, we saw how that happens and translates.
You just did it in real time, real life. Yeah,
and it's not always that easy. Okay.
No, people hang up. People don't answer. People hang up. But I think with realtors, right? They're thinking, oh, was this someone from San Diego coming to buy a house in Tucson, right?
Totally.
Or so there's if you're calling people that are in sales, they tend to answer their calls, because they don't know, right?
Yeah.
It's just those ones that aren't really going to do that, or you might have to text them. Do you ever text?
I typically text my clients after I've talked to them. Like, I will probably text Nancy, be like, "Hey, it was very nice meeting you. I will reach out to you another time, maybe Thursday or Friday."
And see how it worked out with your friend. Because it doesn't always work out with friends, right? And business.
Maybe she's not going to do the things that we offer. Maybe whoever she's hiring could be an asset to her, because I can build a better shell and she can go in there and manipulate it.
Right.
I mean, that's a great partnership, And
you did respect her time. Like you said, at the end, you're like, okay, we'll let you go. And you ended it on a laugh, which is, right? She's going to remember this. Like, I bet you when you call your mom later, she's going to like, you're never going to believe I got a call. Right?
I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to see.
See if she says something.
We should call her and on his phone.
Yeah.
He should.
Right? Wait a minute.
she's in an appointment.
How are you on my son's phone, right?
She's in an appointment, but what would be cool is if you called her and be like, "Dude, I've been getting these crazy cold calls today. Did you get any?"
Yeah,
Something
see what
along
she
those
says.
lines.
See what she says, right? Well, I mean, that was that took us 2 minutes, 3 minutes. That's it.
But she initially only had 1 minute.
Right.
She gave me more than that.
She did give you more than that. And you weren't shy. You didn't, you were natural. Like, how does someone get natural? I mean, they got to practice, right? It's probably like football. You don't just go out on the field and instantly you can throw a ball and catch a ball. I mean, you got to practice. Do you practice in front of a mirror? Be honest.
I used to, when I was younger, I did. And frequently when I drive to work, I talk to myself. I role play with. I just role play with myself. I think about, hey, like I do my own little mini pitches to myself about what I should talk about. Like I'll cold call myself, but not talk back to myself. But I'll just
you'll role play.
I'll role play what I think I want to say today, or what market I want to talk about, and if I'm not saying it, I'm mentally thinking about it.
Right.
I think the number one thing in being successful in cold calling is you have to be constantly thinking ahead.
Right.
Like, while she was talking, I was already thinking about the next thing I was going to say.
Right. But you also have to listen, right?
You do.
So you have to listen, but kind of think your brain's got to be firing on all cylinders. So you can't be hungover and all that. So you got to be on point.
No. You got to be multitasking.
Right.
And you got to be filling them out. Your mom's lovely, by the way. And I haven't even seen her, but she seems like a really wonderful soul. You're a good kid.
And you know what? There's a lot of good people out there. I think what we kind of project, like I learned something recently that I will share, is someone, I think it was Dave Asprey actually, was saying you can control the narrative about someone cutting you off. Like, you can either say, oh, that person's an asshole, or you can say, oh, maybe that person's, kid's in the hospital. And or their wife's not. Maybe that's why they cut me off. And you control that. So you can control what the person's, like on the other phone. They're going to be nice, and you can act like that. Like, they're, or if they got to go, it's maybe, oh man, they're in the middle of something that they actually had to do.
Right.
And it's not me.
Right.
It's not me. And but people internalize that, and they say, oh man, that guy hung up on me, and I'm just not cut out for this.
Timing is everything, man. Like, whatever I did in the universe, good deeds, karma, to get to this spot, to get to this microphone, to get to these beautiful partners and employees of yours, it's timing.
Right.
And sometimes you just have to let the universe work the timing for you.
Right.
And I think that a lot of times we want what we want now, and in the process of us not getting what we want now, we get frustrated, we get anxiety. I mean, I deal with this every month in my company. Like, I've quit, like, probably every 60 days. I quit the company mentally.
This is not working
get
out.
the papers, guys. This is I'm done. Like, I'm constantly quitting because I've been doing it for 12 years. So I have to reinvent myself. I have to reinvent the interest and the passion to want to pick up the phone and cold call, to when I'm not getting people on the phone.
Where do you get the inspiration to do that? You have to pep talk yourself. Like,
I get the inspiration because
drink a lot of coffee. Like,
I have a wonderful, wonderful wife that takes care of my family when I'm away for work. I have beautiful, gorgeous kids. A 7, a 5-year-old, my 7-year-old Charlie, my son Mateo. You have a reason to get up every day. And my little one Andy, she's 3. I want to give them the best life that I can.
Right.
And I think I'm doing a pretty good job of that right now, and supplying them, generational wealth.
Right.
So my passion is to how do I become a coach or a speaker?
Right.
And now I have a following of 2 million people. And now my kids can take over Andreal Networks, the organization that coaches and trains realtors and different business people on how to have phone etiquette. You know, how do I do that? You know, building partnerships like this. So how do I replace my GM, Jack Markham, when he decides to move on and do other things? How do I step in his shoes and reproduce what he does so greatly with connecting with people and doing presentations and being a leader like he does for our organization? Like, those are the things that inspire me to continue in this career and in this business.
The key there is it doesn't happen overnight. It's a sum total of days and days, right? You want to quit, but not, and like not giving up and being relentless if you have to, and just keep going, you know?
Look, you're down. It's the third quarter, and you're down 44-2.
Do you just give up?
Or do you just come back? Or you just kill yourself to come back? Maybe you get to 50-27. But what was your effort like trying to end the game? That's one thing that I pride myself on, is work ethic. And what I find when other people are just quitting on themselves or leaving the organization, or we're going through a turbulent time, or, you know, they just want to give up.
Yeah.
And it's those times when the company needs you. It's those times when your family needs you. It's those times in a marriage where it's like, sure, yeah, you could go for divorce right now, and y'all can live your separate lives, and you can go to Littleville, and he could go to Littleville, and the kids will be split up, or you can like work this out and dig in and keep the bond on life and building a great life together, or building a great organization, or being a great employee, or being a great resource or a solution to everyone that you come in touch with. And that's kind of the things that I focus on.
That's good stuff. Well, thanks for sharing, and thanks for coming over.
Thank you for having me. I'll take that check for $500. I obviously succeeded. Is it Susie? Susie? Payroll, right?
All right. Well, we'll see how many views we get, and then we'll pay you $1 now. Good view.
View this video, guys.
Love it.
Thanks you so much, man.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for watching. Please share, like, subscribe, and come back for the next episode. Thank you for listening to our podcast. If you guys are looking for more content like this, we have a FundLoans YouTube channel where we give away more tips, secrets, and origination ideas. You can also email us at info@fundloans.com. And if you've made it this far, I think it's safe to say you like our content. So please subscribe, share, and send us your scenarios. Let's fund loans together.
Wait a second, no. I needed to follow up.
Hello.
Nancy, this is your friend Andreal again. You won't believe this. I was walking and I found this phone on the ground, and I said, gosh, I got 18 more tries to earn a business, so I figured I'd call from this guy's cell phone and say hello to you.
Oh, that is so funny. You totally got me.
That was my.
Oh, that's funny.
That's my own.
You're good. You're good.
So yeah,
I like that. I like it. You totally got me.
Well, you're very sweet. I told your son that it's obvious he comes from good seed, and thank you for being a realtor and a mother out there in the world and being a good example, because my wife is a part-time realtor and she does commercial real estate. So we're very grateful for your efforts out there in the universe. So keep up the good work, and thank you for allowing me to call you. I will still try, because I got 17 more tries. I've only used 3, but we wanted to let you know that we appreciate you, and thank you for role-playing with us today, okay?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I love it. And you're lucky. Yeah, normally I just hang up. We get 10 of these calls a day, and usually they don't get past the first sentence. So the fact that I hung on for 3 minutes was pretty darn good.
Did you time it?
Well, I always like to learn from my conversations, Nancy. I feel like sometimes for the years my company would be like, oh, you can't do this. You can't be like Andreal. Maybe it's true. Maybe I'm that special. But what did you like about my approach that allowed me to continue talking to you?
The way you started out, you weren't, you don't know me, I don't know you, don't try to figure out who I am, That caught my attention. I'm like, all right, this is something different.
Honesty.
I don't know, just not, I don't know. It was just different than every other call. So it intrigued me to stay on, although I knew I wasn't going to do anything, but
Mike Cloud.
kept me on the line for 3 minutes. So
Well, thank you
That's
for.
good.
Thank you. I know that you're at
and
that.
maybe I'll learn something from that. See, maybe I'll try that approach.
You know what? You can log on to
You might
the
want to
show.
call him back
Yeah, or you could,
and hire him.
Well, Shane was going to say something to you.
Yeah, Shane.
no, I
go
was
ahead.
going to say you can listen to the podcast we just recorded.
Yeah, we
And
just
you were
recorded
kind of a part of, by the way.
We might need your authorization to put
Yeah.
you on the podcast.
We need a release.
You know, I listen to your podcast regularly, right?
What? Oh yeah, she said she listens to you.
Awesome! Thank you.
Yes, I'm a big fan. I listen all the time.
Thank you. Well, now you're on it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Awesome.
It
Thanks
takes
for
a village,
participating. You got a great son. Shane's awesome. All-star.
I know. You're lucky to have them. Have I told you that?
No, but we do feel lucky right now, especially right now.
Great. Keep up the good work.
Hey,
all
Nan-
right. You guys have a good afternoon.
Okay, bye, Nancy. I'll talk to you on Friday,
bye.
okay?
Okay.
Okay, bye.